Why hurting a Taurus is dangerous. 12 reasons you need to know. Have you ever stopped to wonder what really happens when someone dares to hurt a Taurus, maybe someone like you? Or that steady, unshakable soul you hold so dear in your life? Picture this: beneath that calm, grounded exterior lies a heart that feels everything. A strength that doesn't shout but stands firm like an ancient oak tree, weathering storms you can't even see. If you're a Taurus, or if you've ever loved one, you know there's something quietly fierce about them, something that says, "I'm here, I'm solid, but don't you dare push me too far." Today, we're diving deep into that mystery. And trust me, it's going to hit you right where it matters most, your heart. Hello, beautiful souls, I'm Sophia, your guide through the stars and the human spirit. And welcome to Zodiac Wisdom. This is our sacred space where we uncover the magic of the Zodiac, not just to understand it, but to feel it, to see ourselves reflected in it, and to embrace the power we carry inside. If you're new here, I'm so thrilled you've joined us. And if you're one of my incredible regulars, thank you for being the heartbeat of this journey. Let's make it even more special today. Hit that like button if you feel a spark. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And please, subscribe and ring that bell. You don't want to miss what's coming, it's going to light up your soul. In this video, we're uncovering 12 powerful reasons why hurting a Taurus is dangerous, split into 4 emotional chapters that will take you from their unshakable core to the quiet strength that makes them unforgettable. From a loyalty so deep it's like the roots of the earth itself, to a resilience that can leave you awestruck. These reasons are going to make you see Taurus, maybe even you, in a whole new light. I'm talking about the kind of revelations that make you pause and whisper, "Yes, that's me," or, "Oh, now I understand them." So don't turn away, stay with me until the very end. Because what you're about to discover will touch you deeply, surprise you, and maybe even change how you see yourself or the Taurus in your life forever. It's raw, it's real, and it's all for you. So, what are we waiting for? Let's step into the heart of Taurus together, into your heart. If you're one of them, and when something hits home, when you feel that tug at your chest, don't keep it inside, drop it in the comments below. Tell me what moves you, what makes you nod and say, "That's so me," or what reminds you of someone you cherish. I can't wait to hear your stories, they're what make this community so alive. Chapter 1. The Unbreakable Core of a Taurus. Their unshakable loyalty makes betrayal a deep cut. Let's start with something you probably already feel in your bones if you're a Taurus: your loyalty. It's not just a trait, it's who you are. It's the way you show up for your friends, your family, your partner, even your work, with a heart that says, "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." You're the one who stays when everyone else walks away. The one who keeps promises when others forget they even made them. It's a loyalty so deep it's like the foundation of a house, solid, unshakable, built to last through anything. But here's the thing, when someone betrays that loyalty, it's not just a scratch on the surface. It's a crack in the very core of who you are. I think of Linda, a Taurus I worked with years ago. At 45, she was freelancing as a graphic designer, pouring her heart into every project, every client. She had this one partner she trusted completely. They'd built a business together from nothing. But one day, that partner walked away, taking half their clients with them. Linda didn't scream or lash out, that's not her style. She just kept going, finishing every job she'd promised, even when it meant sleepless nights. But she told me later, with tears in her eyes, "Sophia, I'll never forget how that felt. It was like they took a piece of me." That's the danger. Betray a Taurus, and you're not just breaking trust, you're cutting into their soul. They'll keep standing, but that wound, it stays. So here's my advice to anyone listening: don't ever take a Taurus's loyalty for granted. It's a rare, precious gift, the kind you don't find every day. If you're a Taurus, you know this about yourself: you give your all, and you deserve someone who honors that. And if you love a Taurus, cherish them, because once that loyalty is broken, it's a long road back. Their stubbornness turns into a wall you can't break. Now, let's talk about that famous Taurus stubbornness. Oh, I know you're smiling if you're a Taurus, because you've heard this one before. It's that part of you that digs in your heels when you know you're right, that refuses to budge when everyone else is swaying in the wind. It's not just being stubborn for the sake of it, it's a strength. A conviction that comes from your deep need to stand on solid ground. You don't shift your beliefs or your plans for anyone unless you see a damn good reason. But when someone hurts you, that stubbornness transforms into something else, a wall so tall and thick. No apology, no excuse, can climb over it easily. I remember Jane, a Taurus I counseled, a 50-year-old homemaker with a garden that was her pride and joy. Her best friend of 20 years said something cruel one day, something that cut deep about her worth as a mother. Jane didn't yell or fight back, she just went quiet. For months, she wouldn't take calls, wouldn't forgive, even when her friend begged. She told me, "Sophia, I can't just let it go. If I do, it's like saying it didn't matter." That's the danger here, hurt a Taurus, and their stubbornness becomes a fortress. They'll hold their ground, not out of spite, but because they need to protect what's left of their heart. My advice? Be patient. That wall isn't there to punish you, it's there because they're guarding something sacred. If you're a Taurus, own this strength, it's what keeps you true to yourself. And if you've hurt one, don't expect a quick fix. Show them, over time, that you're worth letting back in. Their love for stability makes chaos a threat. If there's one thing every Taurus craves, it's stability, that warm, comforting feeling of knowing where you stand, what tomorrow looks like, who you can count on. You're the one who builds a home, not just with walls and a roof, but with routines, traditions, love that doesn't waver. It's why you work so hard, whether you're freelancing, running a small business, or holding down the fort at home. You're the rock everyone leans on. But when someone hurts you, it's like an earthquake rattling that foundation, and that's when it gets dangerous. Because a Taurus will fight tooth and nail to get that stability back. Take Sarah, a 42-year-old Taurus I know who runs a little Etsy shop selling handmade candles. Her husband lost his job unexpectedly, and instead of supporting her through it, he blamed her for not earning more. It shook her world, the steady life she'd built felt like it was crumbling. But Sarah didn't break, she worked harder, poured her heart into those candles, and rebuilt her peace, step by step, without him. She told me, "Sophia, I couldn't let him take my calm away." That's the thing, hurt a Taurus, and you're not just disrupting their day, you're threatening the very thing that keeps them whole. Here's my advice, respect their need for stability. It's not boring, it's their superpower. If you're a Taurus, hold tight to that love for peace, it's what makes you unstoppable. And if you've shaken their world, help them rebuild it, or step aside, because they'll do it anyway. Stronger than before. Chapter 2. The hidden depths of their heart. Their emotional depth means pain lingers long. Let's dive into something that might surprise you about a Taurus, or maybe. If you're one, it's a truth you've carried quietly for years. Beneath that steady, grounded surface, there's an ocean of emotion, deep, vast, and powerful. You don't wear your heart on your sleeve like some, you hold it close. Tucked away behind that calm smile or those determined eyes. But when you love with everything you've got. When you care, it's a commitment that runs through your veins. And when you're hurt, oh, that pain doesn't just brush by, it sinks in. It lingers, it stays like an echo in a canyon, reverberating long after the moment has passed. I'll never forget Emily, a Taurus I met when she was 47, running a small bakery from her home. She'd built a life she loved, her kids, her recipes, her little community of customers. But then her sister, someone she'd trusted since childhood, spread a lie that nearly cost her that business. Emily didn't confront her right away, she baked through the nights instead, kneading dough like it could knead out the hurt. Months later, she told me, "Sophia, I still feel it every time I see her. I can't just shake it off." That's the danger, hurt a Taurus, and you're not dealing with a fleeting storm, you're stirring a tide that runs deeper than you'll ever see. They'll keep going, they'll keep building, but that pain? It's a quiet companion they carry. Here's my advice, be gentle with them. That depth isn't weakness, it's proof of how much they give. If you're a Taurus, don't apologize for feeling so much, it's what makes you beautifully human. And if you've hurt one, know that the wound isn't shallow, tread softly. Because they deserve that care. They don't forget, ever. Now, let's talk about a Taurus's memory, not the kind that remembers where they parked the car, but the kind that holds onto every moment that mattered. Every joy, every scar. You've got a mind like a steel vault, locking away the good and the bad with equal weight. It's why you can recount the smell of your grandmother's kitchen from decades ago, or the exact words someone said that made you laugh until you cried. But it's also why, when someone hurts you, it doesn't just fade into the background. You don't forget, not the sting, not the betrayal, not the way it made you feel when the world tilted off its axis. I think of Rachel, a 44-year-old Taurus I worked with, who freelances as a writer. Years ago, a close friend borrowed money and never paid her back, a small sum. But it wasn't about the dollars. It was the trust. Even now, Rachel can tell you the date, the excuse, the look on her friend's face. She's moved on, built a thriving career, but she admitted to me, "Sophia, I still keep my distance. I can't unremember that." That's the danger here, hurt a Taurus, and it's etched into their story. A mark that doesn't erase. They might not bring it up. They might not hold a grudge out loud. But it shapes how they see you from then on. My advice? Act with care, because their memory is a mirror that reflects everything back. If you're a Taurus, honor that part of you. It's your wisdom, your way of protecting what matters. And if you've crossed one, don't expect them to pretend it never happened. Show them you've learned. Because they'll never forget. Their slow trust makes forgiveness rare. If there's one thing a Taurus takes their time with, it's trust. You don't hand it out like candy at a parade. You weigh it. You test it. You build it brick by brick until you're sure it's real. It's why, when you let someone in, it's a big deal, a quiet, sacred choice to open your world to them. You're the friend who listens, the partner who stays, the one who shows up no matter what. But when that trust is broken, oh, it's like trying to rebuild a house after a fire. Possible, but slow, and only if the effort is undeniable. Forgiveness isn't impossible, but it's rare, because a Taurus doesn't just bounce back. They need to know it won't happen again. I'll always remember Clara, a 49-year-old Taurus who runs a small online jewelry shop. Her business partner once took credit for her designs, a betrayal that hit her hard. She didn't end the partnership right away. She watched, waited, gave them a chance to prove themselves. But when they didn't, she walked away. Years later, she told me, "Sophia, I can't trust like I did before. It takes too much out of me." That's the danger, hurt a Taurus. And you're not just losing their faith in that moment, you're making it nearly impossible for them to open up again. They'll protect their heart like a treasure. And rightly so. Here's my advice. Earning a Taurus's trust is a privilege. Don't squander it. If you're a Taurus, don't feel bad for being cautious. It's your strength, your shield. And if you've broken that trust, be prepared to work for it, not with words, but with time and proof. They'll forgive when they're ready. But it's a gift you'll have to earn. Chapter 3. The Fierce Protector Within. Their protective nature turns fierce when provoked. Let's talk about something that lights a fire in every Taurus, your instinct to protect. It's not loud or showy, but it's there, simmering beneath the surface like a bear guarding her cubs. You're the one who stands by the people you love, your kids, your spouse, your friends, even that little business you've poured your soul into. You don't just care, you shield. You nurture. You hold space for them to feel safe. But when someone threatens that circle, whether it's you or someone you cherish, oh, that's when the danger shows itself. That quiet protector turns fierce. And you'll face a force you didn't see coming. I think of Maria, a Taurus I met when she was 46. A single mom running a freelance bookkeeping gig. Her teenage son got bullied at school. And when the school brushed it off, Maria didn't sit still. She marched in, calm but unshakable, and demanded action, not just for her boy, but for every kid who'd been hurt. She told me, "Sophia, no one messes with my family." She didn't raise her voice, but her resolve was steel. That's the danger. Hurt a Taurus or their loved ones. And you're not just poking a bear, you're waking it up. They'll fight for what's theirs with a strength that's quiet but unstoppable. My advice? Don't test that protective streak. It's fiercer than you think. If you're a Taurus, embrace this part of you. It's your love in action, your power to keep what matters safe. And if you've crossed one, Step back and respect their boundaries. Because that fierceness isn't going anywhere. Their sense of justice won't let it slide. There's a compass inside every Taurus, and it always points to what's fair. What's right. You're not the type to let wrongs slip by unnoticed, whether it's a slight against you or someone else. You feel it in your gut when something's off. It's why you're the one who speaks up when no one else will. The one who balances the scales when life gets messy. You don't need drama or fanfare, you just want things to make sense. To be just. But when someone hurts you with dishonesty or unfairness, that compass spins into action. And they won't let it go without a reckoning. I'll never forget Laura, a 48-year-old Taurus who owns a small craft store. A supplier shorted her on an order and refused to fix it. Thinking she'd let it slide, Laura didn't yell, she wrote a calm, firm letter, then took her business elsewhere, spreading the word to her network. Months later, that supplier came crawling back. But Laura was done. She said, "Sophia, I can't stand liars, I had to make it right." That's the danger. Hurt a Taurus with injustice, and they'll fight to even the score. Whether it's a quiet boycott or a steady stand, they don't forget what's fair. Here's my advice. Be honest with them, they'll see through anything less. If you're a Taurus, trust that sense of justice, it's your moral backbone, your gift to the world. And if you've wronged one, don't expect them to shrug it off, make it right, or they'll do it for you in their own way. Their patience hides a breaking point you don't want to see. If there's one thing people love about a Taurus, it's your patience, that slow, steady calm that makes you the rock in any storm. You're the one who waits, who listens, who gives second chances when others would have walked away. It's a gift, really, the way you hold space, the way you endure when life gets tough. But here's the secret no one tells you, that patience isn't endless. It's a reservoir, deep and wide, but it has a bottom. And when someone pushes you past that breaking point, oh, that's when the danger erupts, a force so strong it catches everyone off guard. I think of Diane, a 45-year-old Taurus I counseled, an at-home mom who freelances as a seamstress. Her husband kept dismissing her dreams of growing her little sewing side hustle, small jabs. Over years, Diane took it, stayed quiet, kept the peace, until one day, she'd had enough. She didn't scream, she packed a bag, took her sewing machine, and left for a week to finish a big order in peace. When she came back, she told me, "Sophia, I'd held it in too long, I had to let it out." That's the thing, hurt a Taurus too much. And that patience snaps like a dam breaking, flooding everything in its path. My advice? Don't mistake their patience for weakness, it's a strength with limits. If you're a Taurus, know it's okay to let that dam break when you need to, it's your power asserting itself. And if you've pushed one too far, brace yourself, you won't see it coming, but you'll feel it when it does. Chapter 4. The quiet power you'll regret crossing. Their reliability turns into cold distance when hurt. Let's start with something that makes a Taurus so special, your reliability. You're the one everyone counts on, aren't you? The friend who's there with a warm meal when life falls apart. The freelancer who meets every deadline no matter what. The mom who keeps the house running like clockwork. It's not just duty, it's love. Woven into every promise you keep. Every task you finish. You're the steady heartbeat in a chaotic world. But when someone hurts you, that reliability doesn't just falter, it turns into a cold, quiet distance that leaves them wondering where you went. I think of Anna, a 43-year-old Taurus I worked with, who runs a small online tutoring business. She'd always been the rock for her family, especially her sister, who leaned on her through tough times. But when that sister betrayed her trust over a family matter, Anna didn't lash out, she just stepped back. No calls, no check-ins, just silence. Months later, she told me, "Sophia, I couldn't keep giving when it hurt that much." That's the danger. Hurt a Taurus, and the warmth they once offered turns icy. You lose that rock, and you'll feel the weight of its absence more than you ever imagined. My advice? Don't take their reliability for granted, it's a gift that can vanish when pushed too far. If you're a Taurus, know it's okay to pull back when you need to, it's not coldness. It's self-respect, and if you've hurt one, don't expect them to stay close out of habit, you've got to earn that warmth again. Their withdrawal leaves you guessing. There's a stillness to a Taurus that's almost magical, a quiet strength that doesn't need words to prove itself. You don't explode when you're upset, you retreat. Like a river pulling back from the shore to gather itself. It's not about sulking or punishing anyone, it's about protecting what's yours. Giving yourself space to breathe, to heal. But for the person who hurt you, that withdrawal is a mystery they can't solve. They're left guessing, reaching for you, while you're off tending to your own heart in a way only you understand. I'll always remember Lisa, a 47-year-old Taurus who's a stay-at-home mom with a knack for knitting. After a falling out with a close friend who'd dismissed her feelings one too many times, Lisa didn't argue, she just stopped showing up. She spent her days knitting scarves, finding peace in the rhythm of it. Her friend kept calling, confused, asking, "What's wrong?" Lisa told me, "Sophia, I needed that quiet, they didn't get it until I was gone." That's the danger, hurt a Taurus, and their silence becomes a wall you can't see through. You're left wondering, and they're already rebuilding in private. Here's my advice. Give them that space, it's not rejection. It's their strength at work. If you're a Taurus, trust that withdrawal, it's how you recharge, how you stay whole, and if you've caused that retreat, don't push, they'll come back when they're ready, but only on their terms. Their quiet strength becomes your regret. Finally, let's talk about the most dangerous thing of all, the quiet strength of a Taurus. It's not the kind that roars or demands attention, it's the kind that grows like a tree through concrete. Steady and unstoppable. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone, you just are. A force of nature wrapped in calm. But when someone hurts you, that strength doesn't break, it rises. It shines, and it leaves them regretting the day they ever crossed you. Because once you're gone, once you've turned that power inward, they realize what they've lost, and it's more than they can bear. Take Ellen, a 50-year-old Taurus I know, who runs a little gardening business from home. Her ex-partner cheated, thinking she'd just take it, after all. She'd always been so steady. But Ellen didn't cry or beg. She packed up, moved out, and turned her pain into a thriving nursery that's now the talk of her town. Years later, he tried to come back. But she smiled and said, "Sophia, I'm stronger without him." He sees that now. That's the danger, hurt a Taurus, and their quiet strength becomes a light you can't dim. You'll regret it when you see them soar without you. My advice? Treasure them while they're here, their strength is a gift you don't want to lose. If you're a Taurus, hold your head high, that quiet power is your crown, and no one can take it away. And if you've hurt one, don't be surprised when they rise above, regret comes too late. So value them now. Conclusion. And there you have it. Beautiful Soul's 12 powerful reasons why hurting a Taurus is dangerous. Woven through 4 chapters that peel back the layers of their incredible spirit. From the unshakable core of their loyalty, stubbornness, and love for stability, to the hidden depths of their emotional heart, to the fierce protector that rises when provoked, and finally, to the quiet power that leaves regret in its wake, we've seen it all. Hurting a Taurus isn't just risky because of their strength, it's because you risk losing the most steadfast, loving, and resilient soul you'll ever know. They're not loud about it. But oh, they're a force that holds up the world in ways you don't even notice until it's gone. To every Taurus listening, whether you're out there freelancing through late nights, tending to your family with that steady hand, or building something beautiful from the ground up, you are extraordinary. You're the roots that keep everything grounded, the heartbeat that keeps it alive, the quiet fire that warms us all. The world needs your strength, your depth, your unwavering love more than ever. And to those of you who love a Taurus, hold them close. Because they're a treasure worth every ounce of care you can give. So, I want to hear from you, which of these reasons hit home the hardest? Do you see yourself in that unshakable loyalty, that fierce protector, that quiet strength? Or maybe you've witnessed it in a Taurus you adore, a moment when their power shone through? Drop it in the comments below, your stories are what make this space so alive. And I can't wait to read every single one. If you're a Taurus, or if you're on a journey to understand that special Taurus in your life, stick with me here at Zodiac Wisdom. We're just getting started, there's so much more to explore about you. About the stars, about the magic we all carry, This isn't just a video, it's a community. A path we're walking together. And I promise, the best is yet to come. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's keep this adventure going. Before I go, let me leave you with this. Be proud to be a Taurus, or to love one. You're stronger than anyone knows. More valuable than words can say. Keep standing tall. Keep shining in that quiet, powerful way only you can. You're not just enough, you're everything. See you in the next one. My friends, until then, stay steady, stay true, and keep being the incredible you.